Hello everyone. Welcome to African Millennial Conversations. My name is Noltano Mkungo and I have my favorite people in studio.
Hello. Wow. It's so beautiful today. Show you sport.
Do you know what, guys? I have a disclaimer. Apparently, Millennial Conversations is a platform where we talk about taboo subjects. So this is me excusing today's topic.
Never.
This is me excusing today's topic because wow.
But guys, what we discuss here today.
Stacey.
What happens in millennials stays in millennials.
Hey man, it should end here on this couch.
But for your own sake, we decided to take it out.
Yeah, so it's gonna be on the internet, guys.
I hope
my mother.
I hope we don't get sued, hey?
Mommy.
She's not your person.
This is not me. They cloned me.
Yeah.
Huh?
They cloned me. I know, but they cloned me. So okay, on where we are starting, guys. Let's start here. So I know they don't like this because we've had talks like before we recorded and they don't like it. So guys, let's talk about sex.
Oh wow, just like that, boom.
Are you guys
like that? Okay, fine.
Guys.
Okay, cool. Let's discuss it. Let's start
in the
with the tabooness. Who had your first sex talk with you?
Oh, no, I never had a sex talk. Actually,
so at home, at school, life orientation, nothing.
No, like at home, the conversation was, "Maunga uzo meet." It was never now you are here, you are curious, you have a body part and when the body parts come together, the beds and the beams and the pipes and the it never happened.
But then there was always that life orientation subject is following, and then I'm sure you did life science, right? Yeah, and when we talk about the body parts, life science, there's this one part that everybody gets
excited about.
No, it's not even excitement, uncomfortable.
Why?
Because like when we talk about body parts, I think the guy's body parts is like the most famous ones. Everybody knows it. Like even if when they bring up the chart, it's common. We don't care.
But
they have the balls, ballings, and everything. But when it comes to women, it's always that thing of saying, okay, now this is the part that we all want.
No. But guys, whose responsibility is it to teach children about sex talk? See, my sister's now. I think my sister's now 13. Yeah, no, she's gonna be 14 now. Oh my gosh.
She's old.
She's gonna be 14 now. So, and I feel like she's in boarding school, and she's more or less the same age I was when I started being curious, when I started being aware of everything. She's more or less the same age I was when I had my first period. Yeah. So now, whose responsibility is it to teach her about sex? Is it my mom's? Is it the schools?
I think it's anyone who is an adult and who knows how to navigate the conversation. But I think that's the important part. Yes, it is the adults, it is you, it is your mother, but between you and your mother, whoever knows how to navigate this problem.
Okay, how do you navigate it? When you say who knows how to navigate, what's the proper navigation for sex talk?
The birds and the bees and the pollination and
what?
the
That's another thing.
No, but that's how our parents were kind of taught about sex. It was that thing of you will just fall pregnant. It was not that this is something that will happen and this is how you should do it. So I think it is your responsibility when you feel like I know how to handle this. Then you just go and say, when you find yourself in such a situation, this is what you do.
But you know what my problem is? I think the most thing about sex talk was that you are made into you're too afraid of sex to a point whereby when it's time now to have sex, you're like, oh, I can't. Like, it's so sinful. You feel like a sinner, especially in Christian spaces. You feel like sinner.
Prevention is better than cure.
Imagine having a father like Dumelo. It's like prevention is better than cure.
The thing is,
but what are you preventing?
Now, here's the thing.
Why are you preventing?
When it comes to sex talks, you can say you are preventing, but then prevention, at the end of the day, it will always fall short because it will no longer serve its purpose. So when it comes to sex talks, it's something that needs to be dedicated and kind of saying, you know what, now your body is reacting in a certain type of way, you know, and then you're trying to figure it out, you know, and the best person to talk about this is not your friend, you know, because when you talk about these things to your friends, you know, we always get misled, you know, like myself, when we start talking about this with my guys, you know, we just had to be like, okay, Donna, I got porn CDs, you know, let's go see what they do. Like, this is the reality, you know. This is how we grew up. You know? And then we would sit there and then watch porn and then like, okay, so this goes there. And then they do this and then they do that. And then it had that mind of saying, now we need to try this out. So we have this mentality of saying, we're seeing girls differently now, you understand?
And they're running away from this. So
they don't talk about this. And then when they start seeing that now you are more into girls now, you are chasing girls, and then they've realized that your body is reacting to this is now changing, and then you are and now you are into girls. You know, it's a matter of saying, Donna, you know what? We don't want a kid here. They don't even tell you that
they don't tell you how the child comes about.
It's produced through sex. They just tell you that we don't want a kid here.
What the funny thing is, they're afraid of having a kid more than they're afraid of STDs. They're afraid of viruses, you know. They don't say no. Use a condom for ABCD. No, they say unfun him.
I think at the early stages of this thing, they're more fearful of saying like, yo, if you're going to sit him down and tell him or talk to him about pulling out, it will be another thing. Like he won't even understand what pulling out is.
But viruses, HIV, STDs,
is dangerous. The topic should be prevention of pregnancy and STDs altogether.
Yes,
that's where it should be. So I get what you are talking about, because guys, when men talk to each other about sex, it's too much. No.
And I think they start younger. And I think they start at a younger age than females. And sometimes guys at a younger age, maybe when you're 9 or 10, 11, you are raped by someone older than you, and it's hard for you to say that my first experience breaking my virginity was rape, you know.
That's true.
That's
the sad truth about
that's
this
another thing
thing,
we should look at, because first, so before we get to that, let's start here. Your very first introduction about sex, like if you saw it somewhere, or was it the magazines or whatever, how did you first find out such a thing existed?
Well, you came across it by accident.
Is it?
It's always accident, you know. Because trust me, you know, for us to even realize that there's something called porn. We don't know porn. We never knew that there are people who are filming this. Yes. So let's say we all rock up, we joined at a friend's house, and then the friend's like, you know what, my brother just said I can use his room today, and he has awesome movies. And then it's back in the days of CDs, you know, this was before internet. So you pull out the whole catalog of CDs, and then we just watching, like, no, we've seen this, we've seen that. Then what's this?
With the bums on the outside.
And then curiosity, like, and then when you start watching it, you watch that first CD that you've got, then you're like, you know what, we want more. So now it's all about sourcing out more of these things. And now that you are exposed to this thing, you're going to go back home. You're going to go through your whole CDs, like, maybe there must be a CD like that.
Maybe there must be more.
Yeah, and then when you find more, it always tends...
So do you think that parents should hide, or parents, older people should hide these things from them so that they don't get exposed to such things at a younger age?
No.
Not entirely.
You know, here's the thing, right? In my own experience, at this age that I'm in, I'm more comfortable talking to my father about these things and his friends, you know.
Yeah.
Now it's more a thing of saying, like, they have deemed it to be, now is the right age to talk to him about these things, you understand? Yeah. But when you understand, or when we sit down and then we think, like, you know what, right now it's a bit too late to talk about these things, you know, because I think the experience and the understanding of this whole thing, it's far gone. So you cannot teach me anything, because I already know what you know, you understand?
Yeah.
So it's more like when he comes and then he tells me, like, yo, bro, you know, you were with girls last night getting drunk and everything, and then you woke up alone, like, what kind of a fool are you? You understand? Like, okay, fine, old man, I do understand I'm a fool, but then don't you understand that I could have been more smarter if you taught me these things at an earlier stage, because that's the mentality that you want me to have. You understand? So it's a point of saying, at the age, at least at the age of 13, because that's when the mind starts to change and the body changes. You understand? At the age of 13, that's when you need to start talking about these things, because even the first love, the teenage love things, that's the age where it starts, the 13-year-old.
Yes, guys, I hear what you're saying, but my brother is 8.
Yeah.
And they play Umandlondlwane.
Yeah. Of which that's where the whole thing began.
Exactly. Like at that very curious age. Yeah. But like now when they're playing, it's like they start playing and then they're now talking about body parts and then it's all of that. So I think when we say 13, that is a little bit
too
late.
Is it?
Yeah, no, you know,
he's
no.
8 now.
Now here's the thing,
right?
You need to understand this.
But okay, my point here is, I think we should listen to the kids more to find out where their minds are at, so that when they start being curious about these things, you can like counter it.
I think
So it's like my mom and I were talking about this. We can't really give a sex talk to these kids now, but we can just say no. Don't let someone touch your body parts, or don't touch anyone's body parts for now. And body parts are like this and they're like this. So that it's a gradual talk as they grow.
Yeah,
so it's a matter of saying they need to understand their private parts.
Yeah,
yes,
true. So there should be books. That's what I was going to say. Yeah. I think that perhaps from age of 5, but there should be toys, educational toys that teach them, instead of just us saying that, no, wow, aeroplaning, you just jumped from the aeroplane.
Because speaking of...
Can I finish it? Instead of just saying that you jump from the aeroplane, there should be educational toys where you play the storybooks. Now, I think that the world of children's storybooks has evolved, whereby they talk about hair. Yes. Why can't you also add sex to that, so that as umntana grow up, okay, this is, so that it becomes a gradual conversation, rather than at 13, sex, body parts, man.
And it's like you're just gonna give this whole talk now, like there's body parts, there's this, there's that, and now you're dating a girl. Now you're gonna feel like this. What if you wake up and you wake up and
and it's a chaos, no?
All of that. So
it's a chaos,
it would be really good to have storybooks.
Yeah.
But at the same time, are we not in a society that demonizes sex?
We are.
Because that's the problem.
We are.
Here's the thing, guys. When you speak of an 8-year-old, it just reminds me of something. How women mature faster than
we do, actually.
So, the thing is, an 8-year-old child, a female child, starts to change. You understand? And then the guy is like, no, wait. Why do you start
true,
and everything?
True.
And then when that question of curiosity occurs, it's a matter of saying, okay, now I need to understand the difference between a guy and a girl.
Why
and the reason why there is these two.
And at 5, actually, at 5, they see that, this one doesn't have, this one they at the swimming pool, but this one has something that's different to mine.
Because the thing is, there's always teaching fast, you understand? And so to a point of saying, when this song came out, they were she. And then you ask yourself, okay, we all understand what is it, she. And then they don't know. And then you sing that song and then they deem it as taboo, like, okay, language. And then we do recall how a mind of a person works. It's not it doesn't work in the matter of saying, don't do as I say, do what I do, or don't do what I do as I say. We are more curious to, if you want to say, do as I say instead of what I do, what is it that you are doing that you don't want me to do? I want to do it.
Exactly.
Before I want to do what you ask me to say. You understand? So it's a matter of saying, for us to have these conversations, our parents, they have gone past that stage. It's now up to us. It's up to us because your sister is 14 and then your brother is like 8. You do understand that at this age of an 8-year-old, it's an age of curiosity. The age of 15-year-old, that's when they start to understand
dating.
They trying to figure out this feeling that they have towards somebody else, what it is. And when you come, you're like, okay, you trying to figure out that feeling, you need to start to figure out yourself, and everything. Like, I'm gone past that.
Like, isn't it going to be a bit overwhelming though when the sex talk happens at the same time? Because I'm thinking, I feel like it would be good if we start now,
at a younger age,
like bit by bit. Because if you start now, you don't have to address dating. You don't have to address that. You are just addressing this smaller nyana part. And then when they're like 14, now you can talk about dating and sex and safe sex and stuff.
But then
yes, because they already introduced to it, but now you're just regulating the
yeah.
And it's funny how parents they talk about this, man.
They do.
It's funny how they talk about it. No, like every parent, every parent, I'm sure you've all had this experience whereby you find somebody like, oh, what's up, that's the only thing they will tell you. Not what's up, and then we try to, and the more they're telling us these things, that's more curious.
The more curious.
Yeah. Like, what is it to be afraid of?
But hey, you guys, your parents speak, hey? Your parents speak. My parents never mentioned
Never touched it.
Never. Until I was caught with the boy Nyana talking, and then it was a huge issue of Yazi Uzomita and whatever.
Yeah, that's also the pep talk that I got, because most people might know that when I was probably 13, that's when I was like, okay, 13, 12, 11, that's where I started drinking alcohol. So when I was like grade 8, 13, I had been already drinking alcohol. So now I went out to parties, went out.
Yes.
So at home when I came back, my aunt would be like, what's our meat? And it wasn't even a matter of, okay, I'm going out in the attack and the dotin, but I'm going out to drink and have alcohol. But their main instinct as a woman when you don't sleep home is you're having sex with a boy.
Wouldn't we say they don't want to talk about these things because they're afraid of karma?
Not really. For my mom, she was 25 when she had me her firstborn. So I don't think that would be karma.
It would not be karma. I mean, I think it's because they were never taught
that
sex is nothing to be ashamed of, firstly. And that you can always have sex, but have protected sex, so you can avoid the problems that come with it.
Yeah.
So Bona, for them, it's like, because my parents never spoke to me about this, if I'm talking to my child now, I'm encouraging her to go and do it. Because that's the mindset in society, Manju. If I talk to you about sex, then I'm encouraging you.
Well, for what I've learned, and I've learned this through parents.
Yeah.
Or rather say parents who are more open-minded.
Yes.
They just said, the more you talk about sex and you become open to a child, the lesser the interest the child gets.
Yeah.
Because
they know.
Say, what's there to go afterwards?
Yeah.
I know we understand.
Yeah.
Because I was fortunate enough, my aunt is a nurse. And then when I started hanging out with girls, having sex, she was the first person to be like, you know what? I'm not going to tell you to stop. That's one thing I'm not going to do.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you one thing.
Yeah.
Use rubbers. And then when she started giving me rubbers, it started to feel like, what's the use of having sex if I'm going to use rubbers and everything? And then we always have a dialogue and everything. Like, hey, watch out for these things. When these things of prostate cancer came into play, it's like, bro, you need to get yourself tested. This is how we test. And then to me, it even became a more comfortable conversation because we talk, my sister is here, everybody's there, we're talking, and then it's a matter of saying, okay, now I understand, to a point of saying, if I want to have sex, there's no need to be afraid or ashamed of it, And I'm like, I'll be back, I'm coming. It's a matter of saying, whatever you do, and they always tell me this, like, whatever you do, don't be selfish. So now you understand, they're not even encouraging it at all, they're just telling me that because we understand that you are at the stage whereby these things they happen. Just make sure that you are more responsible than ever before. So I think it comes down to that point of saying, sit down and talk to your children, and when you talk about these things, the more they will respect sex.
Look them in the eye. Look them in the eye. Look them in the eye. I'm Jones.
Because the thing is, the way sex or sexual intercourse is spiral out of control. It's because people who are having sex and they're not respecting sex, they're not respecting themselves.
And they don't understand.
They don't understand what they're doing. But if you have a clearer understanding, trust me, it will be a matter of saying now you are even more choosy. What do you have to offer? Wait.
What does that do? Yes, and Nakuta, there's this thing apparently. Sex has soul ties, like the soul ties.
It's true.
Is it?
It's true. At some point. It's true. It's a soul. What do they call this?
Spiritually transmitted demons.
No, not even demons. It's not demons. I don't know if ever they're calling it demons.
It's there.
If they're calling it demons,
it's a spirit.
Soul ties.
Basically, what happens is with sex, and to understand this, you need to understand the birth of a child. But then I won't go there. It's a matter of saying we soul tie, so that means a part of me becomes a part of you.
So you're saying that. So you're saying that if ever, if ever a part of me is left in a lot of, let's say, for example, I've had like 50 sexual partners. So I have a part of demons I carry in me because now I've left a part of that, part of their life, part of their soul.
Yeah, the thing is, we shouldn't be focusing on the negative side of things mostly.
But those are the sides that are going to affect you heavily.
The demons.
Yes.
Well, what about the positive sides, guys?
They're not going to bring you up as much as the demons are going to lift you down.
Yeah, because the demons are also fighting that person.
So now why must it be transferred from me? So what you're actually saying is that we should be cautious. We should be cautious of the people that we have
sex with. You understand? That's why it always comes down into saying, before we analyze the body and everything, you understand? Let's analyze the mind. Let's get to know the person. Routine. This is the type of a person who Aluto she is. This is the type of person who Nolchanda she is. She's interested in these things. She doesn't do these things. You understand? And the more we share common goals, it's better for us to be one.
Yeah, I get that. But the way I see it, with the spiritually transmitted what demons and stuff, it goes back to how we are, especially teenage Africans. Yeah. You know, there are times when you cannot have sex because maybe you are mourning and stuff like that.
Yeah. Is it?
It goes back to the yes, you cannot.
You don't have sex when you are in mourning. When you're in 10 mourning, days after a funeral, you don't have sex.
Is it? Yeah. I never knew that.
You need to be cleansed first. And if that person loses a relative, or even if it's someone they're not necessarily close with, but if it's someone who is in their bloodline, they're not supposed to have sex, because then it will affect you and them and everyone else as well. So with these things, it goes back to that. How is the person spiritually? So that you know what kind of demons you're inheriting. Because some people don't care about this and their lives are going on very well. But then there are people who know these things exist and they believe, if I do have sex with these many people, then I'm carrying their demons.
But I think I've seen a thread. I don't know. Have you noticed how? Have you seen, perhaps observed the person who just goes around and you know that they've slept with?
Yes.
And have you seen their mindset and you one background it has affected him, this person somehow.
There's something that I want to or add into the and when she says there are people who don't believe in these things, but then their lives continues as normal. Now here's the thing. When you live your life, there are people like who feel when you want. You understand? You don't care about other people. But at some point whereby when you say, now I'm gonna be living for somebody else, or I'm gonna start a family and everything, these things, they will come to part, they will catch up to you. You understand? So that's why most people, they if I've done wrong, I need to get it done right, or I have to fix it immediately. You understand? Like the Joker, she was cool, but during the worst of some means, your path, something. It's some of the things that needs to be done. You understand? Because we do have sex at some point, for obvious reasons, to a point whereby now when we have sex, there's that kind of a sex whereby after having it, you don't even feel whole. Or is it? Yeah.
Even as a gentleman.
Yeah. Yes. You don't
even as a gentleman, but you're finishing at you are violated.
You've done nothing.
No, but for me, it even goes into having a very bad dream.
Huh?
Yeah. A very bad dream. Guys, believe me, Mina, it's shit, my mom is watching.
No, it's
you know what happens? If I'd have sex with Ulu, and I would get that feeling that, no, man, this is not right. And then it will manifest. I will be seeing things, or not necessarily seeing things, but I will feel like there's something in this house, or then I'm gonna have a bad dream or whatever. It's like that. For me, it manifests, right? It does manifest.
Guess what? There's this thing of saying it comes with lust mostly, So you lust the person from a distance and everything and all that, and then you get to live with this person. And then throughout, halfway through the first round, then you realize oh shit, shouldn't have.
But why?
That's the problem. We need to control ourselves. That's why I'm saying, if we are taught this thing, we will be more responsible and we will learn to respect sex as it is.
And while we're this very recent interview, Israel, Israel Matek, and Israel touched on this and said, guys, sex is destructive. And we have to be honest.
Is it?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, but it depends if you are a person who believes in that. Like, first of all, like people who pray. People who pray know that sex is very destructive to your spiritual growth and stuff. Because it closes things. Like let's say you are a person who prays around 3 or 12 or whether we are pasha or whatever. But if you are that person who has that intimate connection with a higher power, then you must not have sex, because then when you do, you won't be able to pray. And when you do, like maybe then you're just gonna feel off.
And energy too, guys.
It's like that. You're just gonna feel off.
I feel like this conversation is so big and broad. We're gonna have to extend it.
And we will.
It needs to have a second part.
Yes, we will. Like sex is like very, very, very broad.
It is, but it's so interesting.
So, you know what? Since she says it's interesting, guys, we're going to do a second part. We out.